Vibes Chinwag podcast. We're doing a little bit different today, baby. We're doing a solo dolo podcast today. I'm just gonna be telling you whatever comes to my mind, to be honest. And I also have some questions that people have been asking me. They sent me some questions they wanted to hear me answer on the podcast. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer those. And matter of fact, if you have any questions that you want to hear, you want to ask, you want me to answer, or you just want me to ask someone, whenever I have like the perfect opportunity, let me know. You can send me a DM on Instagram at Midway Vibes Chinwag Podcast, or you could add me on Snapchat at CalebS02. I'll go ahead and link both those in the description so you can check me out. Go send me your questions, you know what I mean? But how's your day been? I mean, my day, dude, I don't know about y'all's day, but my day is my day's been somewhat crazy. I was with my mom today, and she received a call from like an unknown number, and she was like, I was like, answer, like you need to answer, like you need to answer your phone. Like, what if it's like, I don't know, what if it's someone? Because like she has her business, and like I also have my business, so I never answer my phone either. Sometimes I'll be like, I don't know that number. But like you should answer your phone, like especially if you run a business, because it could be a client, could be an opportunity to grow, you never know. And then if it's a scam, just hang up, you know what I mean? But I told her, I was like, answer, and she was like, no, I don't want to. So she gave it to me, and I answered the phone, and I was like, hello. And then it was like an older lady, and she was like, hello, is this Samantha? And I was like, no, this isn't. Hello. And then she was like, hello, is this Samantha? And I was like, no, I was speaking. She was like, is Samantha there? And I was like, yes, because I was just like, I don't know. I wasn't really trying to be like first stern in conversation, because like I didn't know what to expect. So I was just like, yeah, she's here. And she was like, can I talk to her? And I was like, okay, cool. So I handed the phone to my mom. I was like, here. I gave it to my mom, and my mom was like, hello, this is Samantha. And then she was like, I'm not gonna say the real name because it literally just happened today, but I'm gonna give a false name. And she was like, I don't know if you've been talking to Mike Jones, but I'd appreciate if you stopped talking to him. And then she hung up. And I'm like sitting next to my mom, and I'm like, bro, what is going on? Why are you talking to her husband? Why are you talking to Mike Jones? And my mom is like, hold on. I feel like I've never talked so much. I don't really talk, to be honest. I'm more of a listener. I'm more of a listener type of person, but I decided I wanted to change that. You know, obviously I got to be able to talk. I got my own podcast, but talking is honestly not my go-to thing. I'm more of a listener, but talking is kind of fun. But since I'm not used to talking like automatic, like on go like that, like it's just like not something I do for fun. Like people be doing that for fun. Like now I be doing it for fun. Now I like talk to people, and I'm like, oh, that was kind of fun. Like I talked to someone new. But previously I was like, dude, I don't want to do it. And I'm not even finna lie. I kind of get scared whenever I do have to talk to new people, or like I approach someone that's new. Like I do kind of get scared, because I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. But it's like, it's cool. I mean, it's cool. It's fun. I'm growing, talking to people. But I was saying, because it makes my jaw hurt, my mouth gets dry. Oh, but anyways, so I was like, why are you talking to Mike Jones? Why are you talking to her husband? She was like, I don't know who that was. And my mom's like tripping out. And my mom's like the type of person, like she can be really mean, but like when it comes down to it, like she's not the person to mess with, because like she'll just tell you whatever. And she's not very cool with confrontational, like legit confrontations. So she's like, nah, she's real standoffish. So she was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I was like, call her back and tell her you don't know who she's talking about. Because she said a weird name. Like it was like, it's a funny name. Like I can't even think of something to compare it with. It was a 3-word name, but it was like super, it's a weird name. Like why would someone name themselves like that? But I don't know. I mean, I'm not knocking the name. It just wasn't something you hear every day. You know what I mean? So she said, and then I was like, call her back. And then so my mom called her back, and she answered, but I don't know. She like sent her a voicemail, but her voicemail kind of sounded like she answered the phone. So my mom was like, hello. And then like nothing happened. So then my mom hung up, and then she did it again, and it went straight to voicemail, but my mom didn't know what to say, because the message, she stayed on long enough, and it was like, beep. The ringer, and it was like, my mom was like, okay, so what do I do? And so she hung up because she like didn't know what to do, and she got like real scared. And then she went straight to voicemail again. But my mom left a message this time. She was like, hey, this is Samantha, but I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know no Mike Jones. If you have any questions, you can feel free to call me, and I can answer any questions, because I don't know who you're talking about. So like, anyways, my mom sends a message, and then like a couple minutes pass, and then the phone rings again. My mom's tripping out. She's like, oh my God, what do I do? She's like, my mom's like, she's like tripping out. And I'm like, answer the phone. Like you told her if she had any questions. So my mom answers the phone, right? She answers the phone, And then she's like, hello. And she's like, are you Samantha? She's like, yeah, I'm Samantha. Like that, we've been discussing this. I literally just left you a message. But she was like, yeah, I'm Samantha. And then she says, like, well, anyways, I found your number on Zlog. I think it's called Zlog. And she's like, it's where you could call, you could see people's numbers. And I was like, what the heck? You can like track someone's number, like, and it's open to on like Safari. You just found it on Safari. I think it's called Zlog. And you can like go up and you can search people's numbers. And then you could see who they've been calling, bro. It's like just open log. And she was like, and I saw that he called you, and and then she started explaining him. She like said his name. She was like, Mike Jones. He started just explaining his height, his hair color. Like she was just describing his details. And she was like, has he ever called you? And she's like, I've been trying to look for him. He's in the military and he's in Afghanistan. He's been there. I haven't seen him for 5 years. And supposedly he got sent to a tour and she hasn't heard from him in 5 years. And it's really sketchy, actually. Some sketchy stuff. I don't know. It's really crazy. She said she has two sons, and it was like really crazy because like she was describing him. She was like, have you ever heard of him? He said it shows on the call log that he called over to you. My mom was like, no, I've never heard of this guy's name. I don't know who he is. My mom's scared. But mom's like the type of person, like if she knows something, like she wants to know more about it. Like she just wants to know more questions. Like she always got a question to lead after another questions. Like my mom likes to talk. My mom's the type of person who just likes to talk. Like she sees people in Walmart and she just starts talking to them for fun. I mean, it's cool, but like she just never run out of questions. She just never runs out of questions. So anyway, she she was like, yeah, so my mom kept asking questions and she's like, yeah, so the girl was telling her like what happened. And my mom's like tripping out, and then she's like, so then at the end of the conversation, my mom says she doesn't know that person who she's looking for. She hasn't heard of this guy in 5 years. And it's like, she has two sons. He's in Afghanistan. I mean, like, that's kind of crazy. If she hasn't heard from him in 5 years, my opinion is, why is she still like trying to chase after him if he still hasn't heard from him in 5 years? But then I was also thinking, what if he like got taken by the military and he's like on a secret mission? Because like, you never know. Never know. This world's crazy. but yeah, so then my mom, in the conversation, my mom hung up. And then now my mom is paranoid, mad paranoid, because she's like, why is my number on there? I've never received a call from this person. Who is this person? Because I don't even know him, first of all. I haven't received a call from him that I can remember. And my mom's like paranoid. And she's like, why is my thing on that website? So then my mom started researching the website. And she clicked on the website, and then it was like right there. And then shows like recent numbers that people have recently searched up. And you could see my mom's number and her name like clear, like exact number and name. So now it's like, it's really sketch. It's actually really sketch. I hope it's nothing serious, matter of fact. So if actually you don't hear nothing from it, it's probably something, it's probably something serious. But no, I don't know. Hopefully it's nothing serious. I hope not. It's crazy. I mean, it's sad that she's going through that. And I hope whatever it is, she can figure it out. But I mean, don't be calling our numbers. So yeah, that was my day. I mean, it was pretty eventful, pretty cool. Always some strange things happening. You know, we live a very funny life, but it's cool. You know, living it up. That's the only thing you can do, really, is just live it up. Because if you're stressing, worrying, you're gonna be stressed out and worried all the time. But actually, I got a couple questions. I only have 4 questions, but 2 of them are actually kind of tying together, and they were sent in by separate people. Matter of fact, so one of them, it says, do I believe that mankind is going in the right direction? And what is my version of the right direction? So I've had some time to think about these because I got this one about a week ago. Someone sent this in. But do I believe mankind is going in the right direction? And what is the right direction? So I'm going to start off by answering, what is my definition of a right direction? I think my definition of a right direction would be somewhere where we're not divided and we're together, and it doesn't matter. Okay, actually, I'm gonna cut that bullshit, because that's talking about, like, I'm trying to answer my other question. I'm trying to see how I can explain this, because what is my definition of the right direction? I think my definition of the right direction is just that everyone can do whatever they want freely and be happy. You know what I mean? And obviously, that's not possible if you're not in the United States. But I feel like that is the step in the right direction, where we can all do whatever we want freely, choose what we want to do freely. You know what I mean? As long as it makes us happy, I'm sure it's good for us in some type of way. You know what I mean? Like, we should be able to pursue that. And I think that's a step in the right direction. What else would be a step in the right direction? Education, man, like education beyond school. Education as in teaching you what's really happening in history, teaching you what's really happening around the world, teaching you about your mental health, teaching you about finances, teaching you about all the stuff that school doesn't teach you that you need to learn in order to be successful in life. You know what I mean? I think in order to require that, maybe uh in schooling or just like an option. I mean, there is options for you to do it once you get older. You just have to be resourceful and do it because no one's going to teach you yourself. So I guess that's a tricky situation on how we can make that happen. But I'm sure because you can make it happen. People are making it happen. There are classes that you can improve yourself. Matter of fact, speaking of classes, I'm very big on personal growth, man. I recently came into my life and it's changed my life. It's been one hell of a ride. Let me tell you. Personal growth is crazy, man, because you can literally be at the bottom of 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 the bottom barrel. You know what I mean? And you start working on your stuff. You start taking care of yourself, feeding your mind, taking care of your mind, your heart, and your soul. And you start working on yourself, listening to positive things, feeding your mind positive things, and just believing that there is going to be better times, and it changes everything. You know what I mean? And the one thing that has really helped me majorly, I believe, is this. I've been taking courses with this guy, Tony Robbins, #1 life coach in the world, #1 business coach in the world. And there's another thing that he's #1 or something in the world. He's next level. I mean, he's next level. He has like a bunch of businesses. He's been in the game for a cool minute. I believe he's like 62 years old. He's healthy, man. He's next level. Anyways, he is hosting a free event, and his events are top notch. People pay high dollar for these events if you want to go to these events, and if people pay a good amount for these dollars, and he's hosting a free event in January. Don't quote me on the dates, but I'll go ahead and link it in the description. And I want you to go check it out and sign up. I believe it's 90 days. I mean, 90 minutes a day. I think it's 6 days, and it's going to be live stream, but you can catch it on YouTube, catch it on Facebook Live, I believe. And I mean, if you are fully submerged, if you are into the program, I promise you will change your life in some type of way. You know what I mean? And why would you want to miss that opportunity to change your life? Because there's just really, if you're not growing, you're dying, and you got to become better. You don't want to live your life always just wondering what could have happened. Learn what you can and move on with it. Don't learn to let it become knowledge. You know what I mean? Learn to let it turn into actions. You know what I mean? I just want to put that out there because I feel like everyone can grow. And if there's an opportunity, I'd love to share it with you, especially if it's by the guy that I admire the most. I would definitely say, as a life coach that has taught me a lot, I definitely want to share that with y'all for sure. You know what I mean? But is mankind going in the right direction? I would say at the direction we're headed now, I do not believe we're headed in the right direction, just because we're at a point in life where we cannot make decisions freely, not even in America anymore. And it's a tough situation. You know what I mean? You can go any which way. Like there's the gun movement, there's vaccines, there's masks, there's politics. Like everything is like divided, and it's horrible. Honestly, we need to come together. And it's not even about politics. It's not about if you're anti-vax, if you're for vax. I don't know. I don't even know the difference, to be honest. It doesn't matter, to be honest, what you are, what you believe in, as long as you can come together, because at the end of the day, we all human. It don't matter the color of our skin, how we look, what you go by. We still two souls. We still are. I'm one spirit, you one spirit, you have one soul, I have one soul, and at the end of the day, that's all that counts. That's all what I see you for, because what you bring to the table is not how you appear. It's what you have in the inside. You know what I mean? It's what you say reflects how you feel in the inside. You know what I mean? And that's what I see you for. So it doesn't matter to me how you looking at. I wish everyone could be like that, and like shouldn't be differences. Everything doesn't have to be different. Everything doesn't have to be bad. Everything doesn't have to change. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I do believe in change. There has to be innovation for sure, but like not everything has to change. You know what I mean? Not everything has to change into this bigger, I don't know. It's like a bigger picture of, I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest. It's like, it's wild, but it's crazy because I don't even remember where I was going with that, to be honest. But everything is kind of, it's a big misconception, I would say. We're all uneducated on what is really happening, like around the world, for sure. False media, it's that's a whole other topic that we could jump into that I kind of don't want to get into right now because I can talk about that for hours and then it gives me anxiety. I've already kind of been dragging into it. You know what I mean? It gives me anxiety. I don't know about y'all, but when I be reading like politics, I'll be reading the news, it be giving me so much anxiety. I'll be like stressing out. And then it's kind of like, because like, yeah, I can make a difference, but I can't make like major differences at the time that I want to make major differences. You know what I mean? Like I want to make change happen like now, like fast. And that's not exactly how it works. Like it's not an overnight process. Like it happens, it takes time. Like, yeah, you might have overnight success in certain things, but it's not going to be everything. You know what I mean? And I want change. I would be like, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? So like it frustrates me because I'm like, I want to see change and it doesn't happen. So I kind of just try to stay out of it, but out of like the news and like all that type of stuff. But anyways, I believe that mankind right now is we're struggling. You know, we're in a winter time for sure. And I kind of feel like there's patterns into this. I actually heard someone say this, Tony Robbins, matter of fact, that there's patterns into how we live our lives and how the world goes. And I totally agree with him because he was saying like how when a new generation starts like 2000 started, right now we're like in 2020. So in the 1900s, is that what it's called? 1900s, and they had the 1920s, right? So like they all restarted, and they was like, if in the 1920s it was roaring 20s, you know what I mean? Everything was popping off. Everything was popping off, you know what I mean? And it was all cool. New generation was coming up. The old generation was kind of like, what are you doing with your money? Why are you spending it all on these crazy things, these cars, going out, well, buying these fancy clothes, you know what I mean? And that was the older generation looking down on the new generation. New generation spending all their money, doing all these crazy things. And I mean, it's not bad to do that. You got to do that because that's what makes the world go around. You got to have that sort of income. You know what I mean? And then after the Roaring 20s, we went into the Great Depression. In the Great Depression, it was like all crazy. You know what I mean? They were in a winter time, and crazy things happened in the Great Depression. Matter of fact, there was even I have a conspiracy theory. I have a conspiracy theory that ain't no one find it strange that there's been an outbreak of viruses in every 2020. I think they're not 2020, like every 20. I believe there was one in 1720. I believe there was one in 1820. There's like the swine flu or something like I don't know. I don't know the exact names. I remember I got a lot into it during COVID, during quarantine, because I didn't have nothing to do except for looking into conspiracy theories, get my ass paranoid. But now I don't really get into it. I try not to focus on it. So I don't remember. I can't quote exact dates, but I'll go ahead and find it for you. Link them in the description. Matter of fact, I think I heard something, bro. Dude, I'd be so scared. I'd be so scared of ghosts. No cap. But there was that's so off topic. That's me in real life, to be honest. Just to let y'all know. That's why conversations that I be having sometimes just be going so off topic. But anyways, there was a 18, I believe 1720, but I know for a fact 1820, 1920, and now 2020, there's a virus. And I mean, it's kind of crazy, and it's all these patterns. So anyways, the Great Depression happened. We go into that. Then the World War I is like kind of in the Great Depression time or after. Then we go into World War II. Like there's all these things because the new generation started. I don't know where I was even going with this. I had it in my head because it was a long session. I did it in December. I'm trying to tell you a story and I don't want to mess it up because he explained it so well, and I'm not even trying to mess it up, to be honest. But anyways, there's patterns. Because I know I'm not telling the story fully. I haven't heard it enough times. I've only heard it once. Damn! Bro, I wanted to tell y'all that so bad because it was like mind blown whenever I heard it. But I've only heard this story once. I'm just gonna stop telling that story, to be honest, because I'm frustrated myself trying to figure it out. Anyways. Is mankind going in the right direction? I've been trying to answer this question for a cool minute, bro. Shout out the person who gave me this question, making my brain tingle. But for sure, I would not say we are going in the right direction in some ways, for sure. We do want to embrace change. We do want to embrace change to a certain extent. You know what I mean? For sure. I'm just gonna skip that question. But nah, is mankind going? I mean, I already kind of said, is mankind going in the right direction? We're going to move on to the next question. I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next question. Do I believe that the future will be better than the present? So this was sent in a while back, actually. I think it was like one of the first episodes. I kind of want to answer this myself, but I also didn't exactly have a person to ask this to that I felt like it would fit perfectly. So do I believe that the future will be better than the present? I believe that if you believe that, it will be better. If you believe that it won't be, then it won't be better. You know what I mean? It's a way you look at life. It doesn't matter what's happening to you at life. It's like how you perceive life, if that makes any sense. I perceive things is very big. You know what I mean? So let me give you an example. So recently on my business page, I was on Instagram on my business page, and somehow I got locked out of my business page. Actually, I do remember they gave me a reasoning. I logged on to from Instagram from a website that looked like Instagram, something like that, from a second web browser. Anyways, I got locked out. So if you are doing that, don't do that. Stop that. Stop logging in from web browsers, because you're gonna lose your account and it's gonna be frustrating. It was like a stopping point for me for like 3 days. 3 days. I didn't do nothing. I just sat and I kind of moped around about it. Anyways, I lost my Instagram account, right? And for the first 3 days, I was like, oh my God, bro, what am I gonna do? I lost all my business content. What am I gonna do? I can't get logged back in. I was just like basically complaining, you know what I mean? I was just complaining. And then the third day I was like, okay, I can't keep complaining because I'm not getting back in. There's like no way I can get back in. I've already tried like almost everything. I'm not finna wait 90 days to like reactivate and all that stuff. I was like, I need to get jumping. So anyways, I created a new account, and in creating a new account, I was like, you know what? Creating this new account, it's going to be a great way for me to grow and better than my last page. Like I could learn from my mistakes that I already made, and now I can start fresh. This is an amazing start to start fresh. And I had like my whole mindset changed, and it was like actually mind blowing because the whole situation was kind of like negative, and then like changed for me because I was like, nah, this is kind of cool. I'm gonna be able to start over. And matter of fact, I didn't lose all my content because I could just go over to my old page and screenshot it if I needed to. But matter of fact, I've been moving on. I grew, and I was like, nah, I don't even want that content. I'll just make new content. You know what I mean? Oh, nothing in here. Let me grab a new one. Matter of fact. And it's just crazy how switching your mindset can change everything. I got an hour of limon. I'll be going through those things fast. But I'm gonna unzip my jacket. It's getting a little bit hot in here. Maybe I'm doing too much talking. But so it's crazy how the way you perceive things, the way you interpret things, the way you think about life can change everything. So I believe, so like the example I gave, the way I was thinking of life, I was like, dang, I just lost all my account. But then when I switched my mindset, I was like, oh, this is a new start. Like everything changed. Now it's like no biggie. It's just like bigger and better things. You know what I mean? And if that's how you're looking at life. If you're looking at life and you're like, my future will be better, then it's like, okay, yeah, it will be better. You just gotta it takes time, you know what I mean? But if you're telling yourself, my future ain't ever gonna get better, how is it gonna get better if I live this life? You know what I mean? Well, then hell, of course it's not gonna get better. You telling yourself that you're already making it happen without you even being there. Like you didn't even give yourself a chance to get to the future to live your best life. You already counting yourself out. You're like, how could I? Like, what's the point of that? You don't want to do that to yourself. Don't self-doubt yourself because you had a bad past or you're going through it now in the present doesn't mean that it's going to make your future. You know what I mean? You can still have an amazing, like you can still create amazing things, beautiful things that's the beautiful thing about life. Everything changes and everything dies. And it sounds scary, but hearing that just knows that like everything changes and everything dies, meaning everything changes. Everything's going to change. Then you can change with it or you can get left behind. You know what I mean? Everything is going to change and everything dies, meaning enjoy it. Enjoy what you have now because it might not be here tomorrow. You know what I mean? So personally, I believe my future will be better because I want to live a better life. You know what I mean? Whether that is, I have my goals that I want to achieve, but just if I'm not even achieving those goals, just being alive, being present, being able to communicate with people, being able to see, being able to hear, those goals are big enough. I mean, those achievements, being able to wake up is something big enough to be happy about. You know what I mean? There's people that aren't waking up. There's people that aren't, you know what I mean? There's people that can't see. There's people that can't hear. There's people that can't walk. And it's sad because they want to be able to see, they want to be able to hear again, and they can't. And we have that ability to be able to do that. So we need to take to appreciation that every day. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and ask the next question. It's another good one. It's another good one. I got this one very recently. It was actually a couple days recently. Matter of fact, hit me in the perfect timing. I guess they knew it all worked out. Life working in our favor. You know what I mean? Are my actions led with love or fear? I would have to say that my actions are led with love and fear, but I would like to only lead with love. But I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I'm working on it. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to get on that level. I do plan to be on that level though, where I'm leading just with love, but I would say that I'm leading with love and fear. Let me break that down a little bit. So I be living with love, as in I do lead with love. I do lead with love. I do do things out of my best, out of the inside of my heart. Like I want the best for you, no matter if it means that you go before me, that it doesn't matter. I just want the best for you. It doesn't matter if I don't know you. It doesn't matter if you're a stranger. It doesn't matter if I've known you for 10 years, for 5 years, for 3 months. I still want the best for you, just because you deserve the best. You know what I mean? We're only here for one life, and you deserve to live your best life on this planet. And whatever it is, I'd love to help you out. But that's just like me. But there are times that I do lead with fear. You know what I mean? Like there's times where I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that, because if I do that, I could get hurt. And that's not leading with love, because leading with love is like you to be able to love at the ultimate. I believe to be able to love at the ultimate level, you should be able to send out your love knowing you're going to get hurt. You know what I mean? And it's okay. You're just going to continue giving your love out. And I think that's the highest level of love. Like Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, like all these people, they gave their love out. They're giving their love out knowing that they're probably going to get hurt, that they're probably not going to have the reaction that they want, knowing that there's a high possibility that they will be hurt. They're knowing that there's, like, if it's an intimate relationship, knowing like you're giving that person their love, even when there was just a big argument, even whenever they feel like they don't deserve your love, even whenever they're mad at you because, I don't know, whatever you did, you still giving them your love because you love them and you want the best for them, and they deserve your love, even at the worst. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how it should be. And I do want to, and leading, whenever I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna do that because I might get hurt. That's like cutting off like that ultimate love, and that's what I want to be at. You know what I mean? My day-to-day actions, I would say, can be led by fear sometimes, because I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, because what if this happens and then it's not gonna work out how I want? And I mean, at the end of the day, I can't control what's gonna happen. I can't control what you finna do. I can't control what the world finna do. I can only control what I'm finna do. So I shouldn't let that stop me, because what if this happens? Because I should just do it. I shouldn't let that get in the way. That's a good question. That's that's a really good question. You just made me conscious to some things I didn't even know I was conscious about. I mean, I was unconscious about. Now you made me conscious. I didn't know how much I was leading with fear throughout my days. So I appreciate you for asking me that question. I do want to lead with love some more. So thank you. I very much so. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to let y'all know. I don't know if I've let y'all know. Midway Vibes Chinwag. It's so random, bro. I'm so random. Midway Vibes Chinwag is Chinwag. Midway Vibes is actually my so it's my business name for my CBD shop, and it was Midway Vibes. It originally started off as a t-shirt company because I was selling shirts. I know some of y'all may know that. And it was Midway Vibes, and I was trying to think of like, what can I name? Because I kind of wanted to like come off. It was just a side hustle, but I wanted to have like a little name. So I was like, what matches my personality? And I don't know why. It took me 3 days, matter of fact. I was trying to come up with names. Nothing was coming to me. I was coming up with like dumb stuff, to be honest. And then I was outside one day and it just came to me like out of nowhere. And then I like got on my phone, I wrote it down, and I was like, I need to write this down. And it was Midway Vibes. And I was like, why do I like that so much? It was like, it rolled off my tongue and I just liked the Midway Vibes. And I was like, I feel like that fits me, Midway Vibes. And then I was like, okay, so I got to break it down. So it was like Midway Vibes. And I was like, Midway is kind of like my personality. Like I'm a midway person. Like I'm not too hype. I'm not doing the most, but I can do the most sometimes. I'm not super calm, but I'm pretty calm. I'm like a midway person. Midway, like you just want to live your life midway, vibing, chilling, you know what I mean? And then Midway Vibes, just good vibes all around. So then I rocked with it. It was my shirt company name. And then I didn't even have an idea that I was going to open up a CBD shop. It was just a shirt company name, you know what I mean? My side hustle. And then I got the CBD shop, and I just dragged the name over to Midway Vibes. And I was like, oh, this fits, like, I feel like it fit even better. And I want to show y'all this drawing, bro, because it is so bad. It is next level, bro. Check me out, dude. Check me out, dude. So look, it is so next level. It is, dude. It's so cool. It's like it's the mountains. Dude, I could break this. I'll break the painting down for you. But anyways, dude. I feel like a little kid. Like I was on show and tell or something. My wall looks so blank now that it's not there. But yeah. So then I just dragged the name over, and then I feel like it fits me. It fits my personality. And chinwag means to conversate, to chat. And my vocabulary is not very big, but I do like using words that are kind of small that people don't usually use. And you're kind of like, what does that even mean? Like chinwag, like what the hell? What is this boy talking about? Chinwag. But it's like chinwag, just conversate, just chat. And I feel like that's what we're doing. We're conversating, we chatting, and it's just amazing time. Midway Vibes Chinwag podcast. You know what I mean, player? But yeah. But anyways, you really helped me out with that question. So I'm gonna go on to the next question. Actually, forget the next question. I'm gonna answer it, but I'm gonna break down this painting for you right quick. Check it out. So I got the alien because I very much so believe in aliens. If you have not noticed, from my episode with Brian Garcia, man, them aliens are no joke. They off the chain. We are not the only ones here. You know what I mean? But I got these aliens, and the three pyramids were to represent life. But they also, I told y'all that story when I was little in elementary, I seen those UFOs, and it was three UFOs started off as three, then it broke up, and it was crazy, man. So I kind of wanted originally the alien. I wanted the UFO, but I couldn't match like the color in my head. Like I couldn't even find a color online like I could send to the artist. So I was like, I couldn't do it. And I couldn't even like really describe like how can I make that into an artwork. So I was like, I'm gonna do pyramids because it like defines life and mountains, and it was really cool. And then did that. So like it was the aliens for just aliens, right? And then the three aliens because I also like aliens, and the three mountains for the three UFOs, and then the water bringing life, butterflies. Butterflies are kind of cool. Got the trippy because life is an illusion, you know what I mean? And then there's matter of fact, unicorn because life is just magical, you know what I mean? But there's this cat getting abducted by a UFO because cats are my dog, you know what I mean? Cats are next level. They're my homies. I had a friend put me on cats, and let me tell you, dog, they like my friends. Maybe I don't know. It's kind of weird. I kind of think it's weird. Like, unless maybe that's how y'all be feeling with dogs. Like, are they y'all's friends? Because like the dogs are cool. Don't get me wrong, they're cool. But I just don't get along with them the same way I get along with cats. Like cats, like I can just chill with cats. We can get along, we vibe. Like I don't know. I just like cats better. They're kind of cool. But anyways, the cat's getting abducted by a UFO. So now I'm gonna go ahead and jump on to the next question. You know what I mean? What has been a realization for me after graduating high school? That's a good one. What has been a realization? It's kind of like I said earlier, like there's growth after high school that isn't just education. You got to learn about finances, being a good person, being good in a relationship, being good if you ever have kids, being a well-rounded person, you know what I mean? And I'd say that's something that I had to learn. Personal growth, I'd say emotional maturity. That's a big one that I learned out of high school. That isn't something that I did not expect to learn. And it's emotional maturity, I feel, isn't something that is very much so not talked about. And it's sad because it needs to be talked about. And matter of fact, I'm going to talk about it right now. I'm going to start crying. That's one thing. Hold on, time out. People be tripping. I don't know why. That's one thing with emotional maturity, man, is I don't know if it's just for everyone, but for me, I'll be crying all the time. And it's not even like a bad cry. Like sometimes it's a good cry. It's like a happy cry. Like I'm so happy. Like I don't even know. Like I'm so happy like some tears start rolling down. And it's not even that it's bad because I'm happy. Like I'm smiling. I feel good. It's just like I'm so overfilled with emotions. Like I start crying. Or like when I'm sad, like let me tell you, I'll be sad, boy. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sad. Like I just be going through it. And I'm not afraid. Like if I'm in front of people, I'm kind of timid to cry, but like a little bit, I have them crocodile eyes. But if I'm alone or if I'm like somewhere, my sister, I'll cry in front of my sister any day out of the week. She's seen me have some crazy breakdowns. but I'll cry. If I'm alone, I would just most definitely, I'll start crying, bro. And it's like, it's in a way I don't like it because it goes against like my like masculine energy. Like men aren't supposed to cry, but it's like, nah, because like crying is like you facing your emotions. That's way stronger than covering them up, because covering up your emotions and putting up that barrier up, yeah, it's a defense mechanism at the moment, but in the long run, it destroys everything because you never face those emotions. And now you hurt from things that you could have dealt with a long time ago, but you didn't. So now you, 19 years old, for example, struggling with something you could have solved when you was 10 or 12 or 16. And you just got all these problems piled up. And it's like, dang. But it's good though, because let me tell you what, I I appreciate things more too with this what is it called? Emotional maturity. Yeah, emotional maturity. I appreciate things a lot more. And heard the police. Whoop, 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 whoop. But I appreciate things a lot more, and it's just because I just realized that people come into your life at certain times, and sometimes they're here for a long time, and you're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool," and they just there for you to learn. They just teach you a lot of things. They teach you what you don't want. They teach you what you do want. They teach you how they teach you new perspectives of life. They teach you how they live their life. And that is extremely vulnerable. Have you thought of that? Someone that you have no like you have no responsibility to connect with them. They are not your blood, and you still continue to talk to them, and you show them how you live your life, and you show them the insight into your life and your insecurities when you're entering a relationship. And it's crazy. That we allow that to happen, and we became open to it. And if you think about it, it's really crazy. But it's you have to be so vulnerable, but it's so amazing because when you're vulnerable, you create love. And when you create love, it's something that's so amazing. Whenever you're giving it, because if you're giving love, if you say you're giving love to get love, so say I give you love, say I give you some love, I show some love to you, but only if you show me some love. And like that's not how it should be. Like I said earlier, like you should be giving your love without expecting to receive love, knowing that you could get hurt. And I think that is as well as a part of emotional growth. You just have to know that sometimes people aren't always going to be good to you, and you just have to continue being good, because it's not so much that they're trying to hurt you. They showing their own reflection of themselves. You know what I mean? And that's just how life goes. I'd for sure say another thing with emotional growth is saying what you got to say, even though it might hurt the other person or it might hurt what they say. You know what I mean? You just got to say it because it's how you feeling. And at the end of the day, it's how you feel. It do matter how they feel, especially if they special to you, but it's at the end of the day, it's all about you. It's how do you feel? Do you want to live your life with the question, like questioning what would have happened if I would have said this, if I would have done this? Or do you want to live your life knowing I did this and it didn't work? Or I mean, personally, that's how I want to live my life. Like, I don't want to live my life here regret. Like there's some things that I could easily say I regret, but I would say now where I'm at in life that I don't regret it. It taught me, it made me who I am. And maybe that's a part of emotional growth too. But it's really just, it's an amazing thing, emotional growth. I'm about to start crying, bro. No need. That's another thing. When I start cutting in the cry, I just start laughing. I start laughing. It's easy to laugh it off. But yeah, man, that emotional growth is no joke. It just opens the door to so much, and you have to be able to not be afraid to be yourself and face your true emotions. And your true emotions are hurtful. The truth hurts when you got to face it, but the truth will set you free too. You know what I mean? You got to just live your best life, do what makes you happy, because that's all that counts, to be honest. Whew. I just gotta break. I gotta break that because I don't want to get too emotional. I don't know why, but I do know why, because I'll be going outside. I just be walking outside. I'll be outside, but my lips always be chapped, bro. They be getting chapped real bad. You can't really tell right now because I put some chapstick on, but they be getting chapped. And let me tell you, bro, they hurt so bad sometimes. So what kind of chapsticks y'all be using? I've used Carmex, I've used Burt's Bees, I've used Vaseline. They don't work. Currently, I'm using this one. I've been using this one for a cool minute. It's Carmex too. It's like a thing, a Carmex watermelon. And they ain't been working, bro. Like I have to apply so often. I just lick my lips instead, and I feel like it works better. I would say that is one of my biggest realizations: emotional growth, man. And we could talk about emotional growth anytime. Anyone wants to talk about it, we can talk about it. You don't even got to be on the podcast. We can just talk about it because that's something that ain't no one going to talk to you about. You're not going to meet someone at Walmart and they're going to talk to you about emotional growth. And it's something that we need, like not talking about your feelings. Like, yeah, it's cool. You could go not talk about your feelings, have your wall up, but what are you hurting yourself, baby? You hurting yourself. And I'm one from experience. Like I'm not one to talk about my problems. I'm not one to cry in front of people for sure. Like you just saw, I literally just did it. I was starting to cry and I like had to break it because I was like, I don't want to cry. But that's just how it is. Whew, you got to be able to face your emotions. And it's something I'm still working on. I'm still not comfortable crying, obviously, in front of the camera. I'm not comfortable crying in front of people. I've only cried in front of my mom once. That wasn't, and it was like, well, I've cried in front of her multiple times, but like since it's emotional growth, and it was like, I didn't even plan to cry. She just asked the question and I started crying, going like up in that hole. Yeah, she just asked a question. I started crying, bro. I was like, why are you asking me that? But I was not comfortable with it. Like I had to start laughing. I had to start making jokes just because like I didn't want to. It's not that I don't want her to see me. I guess in the way I do, I don't want her to see me cry. And I don't know why. Honestly, don't know why. I would guess I'm just not comfortable enough crying because crying's new for me, man. It's cool though. I'll get used to it. Dude, this Midway Vibes guy, they should sponsor me. I've been going through these things like crazy. Dude, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of hungry. I had a dream. I've been having some crazy dreams, matter of fact. I've been having some wild dreams. I actually had a dream about death today. Actually, I don't know. I'm not exactly ready to talk about that dream because it was crazy. I've been having weird dreams. Honestly, do y'all have those dreams like where you have them, but then you can't remember them? Like you had a dream and it's crazy, but you can't remember it, or like you just can't explain it. Like I be having those type of dreams. I want to have a lucid dream. My mom has a friend that she knows how to lucid dream, and like I've tried it before. I couldn't do it. It's crazy. I want to learn how to lucid dream, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like I would do something dumb. I don't know. I just feel like I'd probably do something dumb. Like they said, you're not supposed to look at clocks or something. Like I would probably look at a clock. I'd be like, "What time is it?" Can't think of anything to say off the top of my head. I mean, if I would have to say any advice, I would say, go do what makes you happy, player. Don't do what makes you happy. Don't matter. They do matter what your mom say. Do matter what your pop say. You got to respect them, but you got to live your life. You can't live the life they want you to live. You know what I mean? You're probably not gonna be happy living that life. You can't live the life your spouse wants you to live, your brother wants you to live, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, whoever it is. You got to do what makes you happy. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's what counts. You got to make sure you straight, you aligned. In order to receive love, you got to be able to love yourself before someone else can love you. You know what I mean? And there's those occasions where someone comes in and they show you love whenever you're at a low space, but it's a rare occasion. You know what I mean? It's whenever you receive, whenever you give. Whenever you're giving love, you have love for yourself. You more open to receiving love. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But yeah, so I would have to say that is it. I don't have any. There's no more questions to be asked at this moment. But if you have any questions, you already know where to go find me. Go hit me with them questions. You know what I mean? But I want to leave you with some things to do. I want to leave you with some things. So go into the description and go click on that link, that Tony Robbins. Go change your life. Go sign up for the course, totally free. I promise you, if it wasn't good, if it didn't benefit me, I wouldn't be putting you on because I wouldn't know how it worked. But it has drastically changed my life. It has benefited my life, changed by the whole way I think, changed the whole way I look at life. It's like I can't even explain it. And I want you to benefit from it too. So go sign up. And then I also have a question for you to answer. I want you to ask yourself, what has been something that is holding you back in your life through your emotional maturity? Whether it's an ex, something your moms did, your dads did, something someone did at the store, something someone told you, something someone did to you that hurt your feelings. Maybe it happened yesterday, last week, a month ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, however long it happened to you. You're just holding that grudge on, and there's no need to be holding that grudge on. And I'm not knocking you for it, because let me tell you what, I do it too, and I'm still guilty of doing it. But now that I'm conscious of it, there's no need to be holding on to that grudge. And letting go of those grudges can do a lot for yourself, because you're just not holding on to that anymore, and you don't need to be holding on to that negative energy. So I want you to establish what it is that's holding you back. You know what I mean? And then, so then part two of the question, what can you do to overcome the problem that you're having? So maybe you need to talk to the person. Maybe you just need to get over it. You need to step over, you need to climb over, go on the new, bigger, better things. You know what I mean? Or maybe you got to go heal some things up. You got to fix some things, and you never know what it is. I don't know what it is, but you know what it is. And it's going to be amazing once you heal it. That has to be it, matter of fact. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and catch y'all later. I appreciate y'all for coming on, listening, giving me your time. You already know where to find me with them questions. If you got anything to say, go find me at Midway Vibes, Chinwag. Peace out.